Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build, and today I'm creating this autumnal New York penthouse in San Myshuno. Now, you guys know that I'm someone who absolutely hates building in San Myshuno. If it's not one of the ones on the ground, like if it's an apartment or a penthouse, I hate it with a passion. Just because every single time I build on there is the glitchiest thing ever. I just do not know why my software records everything just so clippy. Like when I build in San Myshuno and the apartment, like I won't even say it's apartments because I've built in Saudade and Marada, and that has been perfectly fine in terms of penthouses. It's literally just San Myshuno, but it's whatever. It's honestly whatever. I did it, and it is one of my best works. So as you guys know, I always talk about how much I reminisce and enjoy some of my previous Sims 4 builds just because there is a lot to them. But this time around, I was really like, I think I really hit it. Because sometimes I make builds in The Sims 4. Sometimes when I have to do a CC build, I've always said, if I'm going to redecorate an apartment or do a penthouse, I'm going to use CC because I can mentally manage in my head not using CC when it comes to doing a normal house, like a house on the ground or something. Because in my head, I can be really creative with it. But when I'm not as creative with it, when it comes to apartments, like it's kind of like very structured in a way. My only creativity can come from CC, and I had done a lot of CC shopping before it came around to doing this. So I was just like, I'm gonna put every single thing that I saw on my CC shop into this build, and that was basically a lot of stuff from a creator called Baby Girl. I think the name is longer, but I only remember Baby Girl. And yeah, a lot of their stuff I saw there. I think it was like a bar, and then I saw they had a lot of cute fall stuff, and I was like, you know what? It is Halloween tomorrow. The spooky season is coming to an end. I really have not done as much short as I had planned to, but I'm going to round it off and end it with having this really cute little penthouse that has pumpkins everywhere and stuff like that. And the Life and Death pack comes out tomorrow, and I really need to have my head in the game. So what I'm going to do is that after I do a bit of exercise today, and this obviously is uploaded in the background of me doing all of that kind of stuff, I'm really going to go in and applying for jobs today so I can spend the next 4 days just on the Life and Death pack and just building and building and building and building to what are your building needs. Now, a lot of you guys do know about my community post where I did say, what are you guys interested in me building for the up and coming Life and Death pack or just the spooky season in general? And the most voted at this current time was the New Orleans world inspired by Interview with a Vampire. And even though that was the one I wanted to do least of all, I was like, you know what, it's going to be something fun to explore, and I should always just challenge myself in terms of a build or not always build within my comfort. As you know, as you can see at the moment, that my style has been changing a little bit. So at the moment, it's kind of, it used to be, what was my style? My style used to be very generic. Like I would use quite a bit of what's that pack called? Dream Home Decorator. It used to be very basic and generic like that. Now I feel like it's shifting a little bit more with, I like to use, I would say that the Upper Cubby pack, the stuff that we're getting with the Life and Death pack really suits into my current vibe, which I would say it's kind of very, it's very, God, what's the word? It's the current, style that is kind of trending in the UK as well, where they love to have very, not bright colors, but they do like to have colors that may be a little bit more muted. So it'll be maybe like sages, and beiges, like mixture of sages and beiges. And if we're going to have any kind of very stark colors, there'll be whites and blacks. And then in addition to that, it'll be the counters are no longer just plain and very like modernistic looking. They're quite detailed. Like we're adding little elements of maximalism back into it. And I think it's because slowly but surely, hopefully, if I've got my information correct, the UK economy is finally starting slightly a little bit get it back into the gist of things, because I was watching this video quite recently that I found really interesting, and basically the video just said that the style that we have is very representative of the economy we live in. And I just love videos like that, because I love finding videos that kind of make well, obviously the world exists, and the world this sounds like I'm going off topic, but I promise you I've got someone to take this. Obviously the world exists in what it is, and everything can feel quite randomized, but I love having the idea that everything is a little bit programmed, but not programmed in a sense that everything is pre-planned, but programmed in a sense that everything that we do has an effect, and everything exists within the context of each other, and nothing just is suddenly out of the blue. Everything is existing because of something that previously existed, and so on. There's a continuation of acts, the continuation of responsibilities, a continuation of just basically what you do will have a ripple effect throughout everything. And this obviously there's minimalistic or minuscule aspects of this, like how your singular affects the world, but then there's also what the world affects us and how it is a pattern. Like I just love the thought that as humans and the world and the universe, it is just a pattern. And some people might find this really confining, but the thing is, the pattern is like strong-armed by free will. Like we have the will, but it is a pattern that we cannot escape, because if we escape the pattern, then we escape life. Do you get what I mean? Even not just life, but even in death. If we escape this pattern, we'll escape life and death. Which is such a wild concept to say, as we have the life and death pack out tomorrow, but I'm trying to say it in a way that it can find, okay, let me say it in the sense of The Sims, because I am playing in The Sims at the moment. I would say that in The Sims, everything has a pattern. There is a code within the game, and everything will have a ripple effects amongst each other. So if you have different save files, and depending on how you interact, sometimes the families that you don't interact with, like for example, on the save file, I don't touch the goths or the pancakes or anyone. They sometimes have different babies depending on the save file, and they sometimes have different stories and are marrying different people and stuff like that, depending on how it's going, because there is a code, there is a pattern. Yeah, it will change and it will vary, but there is a pattern and it all works around each other. It's almost like, but instead of maybe saying a pattern, it's like it's cogs in a clock or something like that, and we all just kind of like every single movement interjects with every single other movement. And the reason why I'm saying that in the context of style and economics is that when I was watching this one video, I found it extremely interesting when I was hearing about how the state of the economy affects not only what media we choose to watch, what books we choose to like, but what decorations we choose to have within our homes. So within 2008, when there was that big crash within the economy, a lot of our media started to boost up a lot of very rich content. Like we became obsessed with the elite and people from the upper class. Like we wanted that escapism from the turbulent effects of that economy. I say we, I was like 7 or 6, but like, yeah. We wanted that, and we enjoyed that. So that's why Gossip Girl became such a big thing in 2008, because that's what we wanted. And the same thing can be said in 2020, when obviously that thing that happened in 2020 caused a huge like detriment. Why am I losing all my words? Like today, I feel like I'm saying the wrong words for every single thing. I'm even trying to use simple words. I'm not even trying to be like, what's that thing? God, what's that thing called when someone tries to use big words but they don't really know what they mean? I'm not trying to be that. Like, I'm just generally trying to find the word because I know there is a better word to describe what I'm trying to say. But you know what? Whatever. There was that big thing in 2020 that ruined the economy quite a bit. And then in 2020, we saw there was a dramatic rise in stuff to do with like succession and other content like that, where we again are just watching stuff to do with people with a lot more money than us. But you would think, but since that was an escapist thing, since that was a media centered thing, this is not something that we could necessarily reflect in terms of our style. So even though we had very big a very, very grandiose kind of content to watch, we didn't actually have the finances to replicate it. So what we would end up doing is that we would try and stylize what we had in terms of how much money we had and what we were interested in. So that's how minimalism became such a really big thing, because we didn't have the finances to imitate the rich, but we still wanted to express ourselves because we're humans, and as much as anyone would like to deny it, we all have a sense of creativity. We all like art to an extent. So we would try and express it in our own ways, and that was minimalism and brutalism and stuff like that. Like, we are trying to express ourselves, but we don't have the finances, so this is how we can get to it. But then obviously what's happened in 2020 is that was the complete opposite. There was also that huge burst of maximalism and stuff like that, where it's kind of like we were like, we need to catch all we can do all we can, because we saw a really big rise in 2020 as well of DIY, because a lot of people couldn't either go out and get it because it was like too expensive, or they just generally couldn't because of restrictions. So we saw a big rise within like maximalism stuff. But honestly, I feel like I'm not describing it the way that I'm supposed to. If I can ever find the video, I'll try and link it in the comments, but it was a very informative video. I think it was by the same creator that likes to talk about different types of styles. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same creator that also said that if you love like cottagecore and that kind of style, you probably grew up in an apartment with very minimal windows and stuff like that, and you yearn to be one with nature. That creator called me out so much because I grew up in a flat, and now all I want to do is explore as much of the very like cottagey vibes I ride. Like, if you watch the Yorkshire video, I talk about how much I would love to live in one of these houses. It's a complete opposite of how I grew up. Like, I'm interested in this penthouse. I think that I really would love to live. Who wouldn't love to live in this penthouse? I'm really interested in this penthouse. And I'm also interested in a lot of the builds I've made. But in particular, I was interested in that village just because, I don't know, it just felt like all these other houses that I say I'm interested in living in, these are houses I feel like I could live in temporarily. But those cottages, I was like, if you made this my forever home, I will gladly take it and I'll be happy. So yeah, but anyway, also, I haven't really talked about the build so much, but I'm just going to like round it down. The style for this house, penthouse, as you can see at the beginning, it originally did have, like, I did put those big windows, but then I decided to use the Felix Andre Georgian windows because I decided to have this look more like a Manhattan kind of penthouse thingy rather than just like a straight up, like, could belong in any city kind of penthouse. Like, I wanted it to have that kind of, it was probably made in the 1920s and over time has consistently been like you know that word that starts with where you redo something and in order to suit your current style, like a home or something like that. Renovate, yeah, I think renovate's the word. Yeah, that's the word. And see, this is what I mean. I'm not trying to use big words. These are standard words. But my brain is just like, no, I don't remember. What do you want to say? I don't remember. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I imagined it. So as I continued to go on and decorate it, I had so much fun. Gosh, I love CEC. I had so much fun, and I honestly love this interior way more than the previous video. The previous video, I love the exterior more than this exterior, but the interior of this house, I love more than the interior of the previous video, just because I got to use CC. But yeah, so that's how I tried to do it. So I was just trying to make it look like very similar to the current British style, which is a lot of people really love basically what the inside of this house looks like. They love they've kind of moved away from the grays and the contemporaries and the harsh lines and the black and whites and all of that, and they've moved closer to a more homey vibe, but with the very like, let's say, do you use cedar for the flooring? I need to learn more about interior design. I think that's probably why I struggle. I need to learn more. But it's like almost cedar wood looking flooring, like very light wood flooring. But then like they will have those, and in the name of these things, but like those boards on the lower levels of the walls, and then it'll just be paint above it, and then very wooden staircases. Like they wanted to be known that there is wood in this house, and they wanted to be known that like the kitchen that I utilized, the cabinets I utilized for the kitchen, I think they're from Rustic Sims, that kind of style. I think you can find a similar style within Harry's coastal pack as well, but I was trying to steer away because every single time I do a CC build, I always use Harry's coastal pack, and I just like, this has to be the one video to own. So the majority of the things that I ended up using in this video were, I used Rustic Sims, as I said, for the kitchen, and the kitchen is absolutely beautiful, especially this part I'm decorating at the moment where it's like you leave the kitchen and then you go to the greenhouse, or you can go to the barbecue area. I just feel like it really made this penthouse feel like you don't need to feel like you're missing out on anything. Obviously, there's very big things you're missing out on, like a garden and a play area and stuff like that. Like, I don't believe the child in this family ever got to really have that as much. But again, they're very, very wealthy. This house is the house of the screenwriter I had in the... No, that was the previous house. What is wrong with me? This is the house of the stylist I had. I also have used this sim before. She used to live in an apartment where it was central focused on creating clothes and stuff like that. You'll probably find it somewhere on my channel. And then she is married to the son of the woman who owns the celebrity home. If you go on my channel, I might even link it down below for that as well. I might just link both of them just so you can have the backstories, almost so you can keep up with the stories, you know, the EmeraldStories. Because this name has a reason. I keep the Sims the same. I don't just create houses without this. Like, I want you, if you can, follow along with the Sims stories. I might just have to like orientate that better. So maybe I need to know, instead of tagging videos of similar content, I'll just tag videos of content of the previous sources. It's not always going to work that way because I do have a specific save file called build where I just build regardless of storytelling, but this is a part of my celebrity save file and this has storytelling. So I'll say that I've got 3 save files: celebrity save file, my baby save file, my British save file, and my supernatural save file. Don't use my supernatural save file that much. I didn't even use it at all during this entire spooky season, which is crazy. But like, yeah, those, I'll try and like link those previous videos so you guys can keep up to date with the stories and how they go on. But yeah, he is the son of the woman who owned the celebrity home, AUTUMNAL, one of my favorite Sims I have ever created. And now they live in this beautiful penthouse. He's just living life as a Nepo baby. But she is a stylist, and yeah, they have this really, really, really nice area. The family, what's the name? The name is Gunsalvani. So Gunsalvani, if you, again, the AUTUMNAL, the Gunsalvani family is littered through my YouTube channel. They are everywhere. They're there for the wedding, the place to have a wedding build I made before. They're there for the celebrity house. They're there for, I don't know what else, but they are there. They're intertwined. They're everywhere. They're like my biggest celebrities in my celebrity save file. So they trickle everywhere, and that's why he's a Nepo baby, because he really doesn't need to work, and neither does the Sims daughter. But I'm so sorry because I keep looking at it. I did go through it and try and get rid of the majority of the glitches, but if I got rid of every single glitch within this build, then you would probably have like 5 minutes maybe. But yeah, I tried to, and I really love how this came out. But I feel like it's been all over the place in this talk. It's not walk. Oh my gosh, I need to talk to more people. I literally stay in my room most of the time. I went out on Saturday, and even then I was still struggling to find my words because I just don't talk that often. And I don't struggle as much when it comes to writing because I'm consistently writing multiple CVs and personal statements and stuff like that. But when it comes to talking, it's like it's all leaving my head. I really need to push myself. Also, because I've been reading just a lot of short stories, so it's not even like I'm like really getting into the grips of a really strong narrative or anything to retain any information. Like I'm really struggling at that moment. As you can, that wasn't even words. I'm really struggling in the moment, as you can see. But yeah, let me get back to the things I used. I used rustic sims mainly for the kitchen, but I also did, I either used the Chateau fridge from Felix Andre, or I used the coastal fridge. If I did, hopefully there's only one part coastal, I hope. I did use something from Harry. I used the Harry marble tables to add to the side of the counters. So yeah, I did do that. Oopsie. What else did I do? I added a lot of David's apartment. Most of this is David's apartment. And then I also used the Berlin set, everything from the Berlin set as well. So everything from the Berlin set, everything from David's apartment, everything from the rustic kitchen set. What else did I use? I used obviously every single thing from the Win Llama, from the nostalgia set to the apartment therapy to the blooming rooms. That's what I used from a Winged Llama. Oh, and as I'm doing the walk-in wardrobe, which is one of my favorite walk-in wardrobes I've ever created, I used... Who did I use? I used Max 20's wardrobe, which is so beautiful. And then I also used Pierre Sim's MCM. I think maybe every version of it, or strictly the bathroom version of it. But yeah, that's what I use. Those are basically the gist of every single thing that I used. And maybe and I also used everything from the Georgian set by Felix Andre. So that's the windows, that's the chairs, I think that's it, because if I used too much of it, it would have ended up changing the vibe. The vibe is like modern, but you can tell there is littering of old money. Oh, I also forget, as I'm putting down the bags, I used the baby doll set, so I used the bags that they have. So you got Christian Dior littered here and there. But then I also used the fall stuff, so the pumpkins, and most of the art is from the Baby Girl set. But then I also used this other creator, Shopaholic set, and that's where I got other bags. That's where I got the mannequin, and also used Uzi and someone else set for the styling stuff, so the sewing stuff and the color book and everything like that, just so I can keep the continuity of her being a stylist. But yeah, I'm just remembering the previous conversation I had, but with the videos about to end. But let me just wrap that up real quick. The reason why I am not choosing to do the New Orleans one at this moment in time is not because I don't want to. I might just do it in the sake of AUTUMNAL, but I might not make it vampire centered, just because recently on social media I've heard there is some issues going on in New Orleans regarding vampires. And you're probably thinking that is absolutely crazy. There's no such thing as vampires. I'm not talking about real vampires. I'm talking about is generally like disturbing. There is apparently someone going around taking on the guise of a vampire and doing a lot of very disturbing things in New Orleans, and I don't want to somehow capitalize that or sensationalize that until I get more information regarding that. I don't think, if I'm going to make New Orleans probably in November, I'm not going to make it in the style of vampires. And if I'm going to make something with vampires, it's not going to be in New Orleans. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I really hope You guys like this video? This is so cute. I'm obsessed with it. I'm going to be playing in this penthouse almost all the time because it is just really, really nice. And yeah, the CC list and the tray files will be uploaded within the next 48 hours, but do bear with me. I am going to be focusing a lot on job applications, and I will be focusing a lot on trying to get everything ready for life and death, but I'm going to try my best, literally try my best to get it out before I get anything for life and death out. So I'll try and get it out within the next 48 hours because I know that tomorrow's Halloween, and what's the point of having a Halloween inspired house/penthouse but you're not able to play it on actually Halloween itself. But yeah, all my previous builds at the moment, it does not tray files. They are up on the gallery. I am going to put the tray files up, but they are up on the gallery. So I'm just gonna have to go through all of that. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.